This week's episode is sponsored by Dollhouse of Tampa Salon and Studio. Find your inner doll. They offer quick weaves, sew-ins, and much, much more to fit every occasion. Need a wig? Selena's got you. She will customize a unit just for you. Book your next appointment on Booksy today. Did someone say nails? Honey, forget the Bayhive. Contact Queen Bee herself. She offers customized designer nails and even designer press-ons that she will customize and ship to you. Braids, and even twists. Book with Tiffany right on Facebook. Find your inner doll at Dollhouse Tampa Salon and Studio. Tampa.
Stay in Love TV is your production to distribution solution to getting your message seen and heard. Having your own TV show with Stay in Love TV has never been easier than now. Stay in Love TV gives you the power to share your message with the world. Stop watching TV and start being watched on TV. Stay in Love TV offers real-time multicasting, all with one click. This opportunity puts you on the world stage with an audience of over 200 million. In addition to your low monthly subscription fees, you will also receive monthly network coaching and training from the network itself to ensure that before your first show premieres, you are set up for success. We at Stay in Love TV bring over 20 years experience in sales, marketing, advertising, and business development. Stay in Love TV, purposeful entertainment driven by love, empowered with passion, fueled with faith. Go to www.stayinlovetv.com and let's get started.
Welcome. You have just entered today's Michelleology. I'm Michelle. I'm your spiritual evolutionist and your motivator. In today's Michelleology, we provide you with insight that's needed to take a deeper look into your consciousness and provide tools that will open up the doors to your higher self. Get ready for a now awakening. Remember, once you go in, you'll never be without. Namaste. I bow to the divine presence in you. In today's Michelleology, I'm Michelle. I'm your motivator. I'm your spiritual evolutionist. Welcome into this space and this place on Stay in Love TV network. We're so glad that you have joined today. You have been purposely designed for this space and place in this moment that we're going to cover today. I have entered my email at the end, my Cash App at the bottom of the screen as it scrolls around. If you need to contact me for any reason, if you want to bless me for this season, you can do so. I'm so excited today because we are going to begin to talk about, guess what? The power of agreement. This is a vital tool that is needed as you elevate into your fifth dimensional and consciousness, your Christ consciousness. This tool, to be awakened to this tool, is going to take you even higher to your highest version of yourself. It is going to move some things in your life. It is going to change some things in your life. Listen, I am not here to change your mind, but I am here to offer you some tools that will bring you to a place and space of creativity, because you are purposed to be creative. You are in the image of the Father who creates on a moment-to-moment basis. If you're measuring it by time, he actually moves in eternity. But if you want to measure it by time, it's moment by moment. So as we begin to talk about the power of agreement, for a long time, for as long as I've ever known, I've been in the church building. And in the church building, we were taught about the scripture that if two touch and agree on anything, it shall be done. And so as I saw it, it was touching, agreeing outside with someone on the outside. But I want to go, or I will to go another direction. Let's go in, because once you go in, you never be without. And once you know a thing, you can't unknow it. So I am offering you this tool to know that once you go in and you begin to, first of all, agree with yourself. And when you're in agreement with yourself, that means you love yourself. That means you know who you are. that means you're operating in your highest version of yourself. If you would just agree with that, you have so many different aspects within you. You will be able to find any two of those and agree. But the most of all, your second agreement is the Spirit of God that dwells within you. If you and the Spirit of God, the power of two, will agree, because God agrees and says yes, amen, to what you say yes and amen to. So you've got to come to the place where you're agreeing with yourself so that you can agree with the Spirit of God. So the power of agreement takes you to the creativity of the very thing that you're willing to happen. And so this means you do not have to trust or depend on anything outside of you. God doesn't even want us to depend on him. He wants us to be independent in him. And as we go in, I continuously tell you that, because once we go in, that's where the eternity is. That's where the truth is. That's where the faith is. That's where the power is. We cannot move in a powerful way unless we go in. So when you begin to agree with the things that God has called you to be, the things that he's empowered you to have, to be, to do, and to have, we are never supposed to be without. But the only thing is, we're used to going outside in the illusion, in a place of division. There is no way that your external, which is illusional, simulated, and temporary, will ever be able to agree with your power that's on the inside. Now, let me try to break that down for you, because yes, we operate in this vehicle that operates in this travel that's carrying the Spirit. This is our treasure. This is our in an earthly vessel. We have an inside treasure. This is our earthly vessel that we travel in. And you can look at it as a car. Like your car, my car outside is still a car, but it's only a vehicle, and it only moves when I get into it, which is the spirit and the energy that will do what is necessary to cause it to move. And so the same thing comes with the power of agreement. We have agreed with so many negative spirits, negative energy, negative words, negative spells, that we have created a negative atmosphere for us to travel in. And that's not how this journey was set to be. It was not set to be as a journey that you just hate to take, or that you're in so much pain that you're in depression, or you have anxiety, or you're stressed out, or you're sick. That was not how it was originally designed to be. So when we say repent, that means we're returning back to our original state of being, that God knew us before we entered into this dimension, into this simulation, into this illusion. And he provided us with every tool that we would need in order to make this journey. I'll continuously tell you, this is a journey. We are not here to stay. And so we get comfortable in the things that are outside of us, that are literally outside of us, instead of comforting ourselves from within. And that's where the peace is. You'll never be able to have peace on the outside of you before you have peace on the inside of you. And so everything starts inside. And if you can agree with what God says about you, then you begin to create that very thing. A lot of us will agree with people in their negativity, but we won't take time to agree with God in his positivity. If he says all things are possible, then we must agree with that. If he say no weapon formed against us shall be able to prosper, why can't we agree with that? And most of the times we're not able to agree because we're operating in the physical eyes, and we're seeing things that we've been conditioned to, and we are getting totally off track. We're losing our memory, and we are not operating in the fullness. We are only operating in a shadow of our power. There is so much power in you that you actually could blow up a building. If your energy was transformed into dynamite, into dunamis, into exousias, which are the Greek And Hebrew words for power, you would be able to actually blow up a building. So that's a comparison to how much can happen if you just agree with yourself and you just agree with God, and you not look for any outside cheerleaders to cheer you on, that you are your greatest cheerleader. You have to agree that you are great. You have to agree that the power is dwelling in you. You have to agree that nothing by any means shall hurt you. If you agree with these things, then you begin to send out an energy or aura into the atmosphere, into the matrix, and it causes the matrix to shut down because the power has arrived. This is not a competition between God and what you call the devil. The devil is only negative vibrations, negative words, negative energies, however you want to say, the lowest vibration or frequency of energy. And this is not a competition. The one and only power will always win, but you have to be in agreement of that. If you've been diagnosed with a sickness, which I've been diagnosed with several of them, but I don't agree with the diagnosis. Now, there's a lot of us that are going around saying my high blood pressure, my diabetes, my cancer, my this, my that. That means you're in agreement with the diagnosis. And because you are such a creator, whatever you agree with is what you manifest for your life. Let me tell you, a lot of you have been in relationships. I've been there too, where I keep saying, I'm a good person. Why are these relationships not working out? And I had to take responsibility. I could not blame the other person. I had to take responsibility to say, what am I agreeing with? What am I sending out? What energy am I sending out? Because God is no respecter of person, but he is a respecter of principle. And sometimes you must examine, no, not sometimes, all the time, you must examine the energy that you are relaying in the atmosphere that is coming from the inside of you and defiling the outside of you. And so here we are in this space that God has provided for us. We have gone through a lot in these last 3 years, something that most of us wouldn't have ever imagined that would happen on this planet, but it did. But what we must go back to, instead of looking at the negative part of what has happened these last 3 years, we must go to the positive part, because we must have been equipped to handle the situation. A lot of us don't agree that we're equipped for whatever we're going through, because it doesn't feel good, smell good, taste good, even look good. We feel like something is coming against us, but we're actually agreeing with the atmosphere. We're actually sending out the energy of agreement. You have that power. If you agree that you're going to be broke, then you'll be broke. If you agree that you're going to be sick, then you'll be sick. But the same things are working on your other side. It's all a polarity. It's energy. It cannot be destroyed, but it can elevate and decrease. And so you have to be mindful and foundational that the energy that you are sending out in the atmosphere, what is it that it is drawing back? Because the principle is, whatever you sow, that you're going to reap. And when you reap, you usually reap with interest. And that means it's more than what you send out. And so at this point in our lives, when we're waking up to our power, when we're being conscious of what we're actually made of, when we're looking at our image and we're made in the spirit of God that moves and increases and causes things to be, that's a lot of power. This is good in the neighborhood. This is so much power that sometimes we don't even believe that we have that much power. And the outside have convinced us that we are powerless and that we're limited to certain powers, and that if you don't have a certain amount of money, or you're not a certain color, or you're not from the certain family, that you are not worth any good. That is just a spell that has come from the outside. And it is not one that God has created for us. So when we begin to agree of our greatness, and we begin to agree of our prosperity, and we begin to agree of our power, of our worth, everything from the inside begins to increase. As it begins to increase, it has no room. So it has to flow from the inside to the outside. For God saying these last days means this last age means this last moment, this last second, I'm going to pour out my spirit. That means if it's pouring out, it has to be in, not on, but it has to be in. So if he's going to pour out his spirit and his spirit has power, then we should be operating on a higher dimension, on a higher vibration, on a higher frequency, and on a higher energy. And we should stop accepting things as they are. As we move forward, there's one thing that I will for you to do. It's just take time to meditate. And when I say meditate, I mean focus with an intention, with a mindset of your inside. Now, if you could visualize what your inside look like and how it's operating, can you visualize your kidneys and your lungs and all of that working together without you saying anything? It is that infinite intelligence that is working it all together to make your good. Now, if that can work without your hand on it, you're just a vehicle. Then there are some things that will work for you and you're just a vehicle. The worth that you have from the inside out is priceless. There is not an amount of money that can be placed over the power that you possess from the inside. We just have to agree with it. We have to come in sync with it. We have to level off with it. And we have to level up with it in order for us to receive all of the things that are already in the atmosphere. But because we don't agree with those things, then they remain in the atmosphere and nobody's claiming them. We live in a rich atmosphere with gifts, miracles, healing. Everything is in the atmosphere, but it's energy and you can't see it. And because you can't see it, because we've been taught to see it to believe it and not to know it to believe it, then we operate in these physical eyes. And the physical eyes are not going to give you a full view of the picture. It is going to give you a simulated version. It is going to give you a pass away version. It is not going to give you a permanent picture of what you're operating in. See, we're so stuck in what we can see that we miss what we don't see. And we're so stuck in what we've been conditioned to that we miss what we've been gifted with. And so when you miss those things, those are the times that we stress out. It's not because we don't have, it's because we don't know. We fail or we miss out just because we don't know. And I always say, if you know a thing, you can't unknow it. You can unknow what you know. Now, if you believe a thing, you might be swayed to believe something else. It can change. Believing is the pediatrics for getting you through the door, but knowing is the foundation for keeping you going, keeping you uplifted, keeping you in the space and the place that God has for you. We're so stuck in this foolishness. We've got to move from foolishness to faithfulness. And the way that you do this, you've got to love yourself. I'm not talking about how you look. I'm not talking about what size you are, how long your hair is, or how short your hair is. I'm talking about that image that is on the inside that we're made out of. Do you not know that you are made out of some stuff that cannot be destroyed? Why do we allow people, or we agree with people when they call us names, when they call us out of our name? We'll agree with that. We'll be hurt by it. We'll even react to it. But when God says, if you just connect with me and we agree, we're going to go and we're going to soar to places that we've never have seen, that we've never been to, that we just are unaware of. So today, in this power of agreement, I want you to, I keep saying want, but I mean will. I will for you to meditate. And in the meditation, get in a quiet spot. Now, I've accomplished meditating when there's a group of people around or noise. I know how to go in. But at this time, closing your eyes and just visualize or experience the frequencies or energies that are going on within your body. When you focus on that, you may feel tingling. You may feel something like swirling. You may feel something going up your legs. That is power. When you recognize this, now I did this before I came on this morning, I did this. I closed my eyes and I began to focus on that. And I began to experience the sensations and the frequencies and the vibrations within my body. And it was a reminder to me of the power that works within me. And as soon as I did that, I stopped thinking about things. See, we overthink. And we've been told to think, and all that's good in this place, but we overthink. But what we have to do is put our focus on the thinker, not the things that we think about. And what do I mean by that? On the power. The thinker is the power. And once I came out of that, the first thing I started thinking, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. And I was like, oh my God, when I want to slow this down, 60,000, 70,000 thoughts, I'll keep saying it till you get it. A day is going here. When we slow this down, and how we slow this down is go to our heart mind. And when you go to your heart mind, you experience the frequency of the power. And once you agree with it, the thinking stops, the thoughts stop, and your heartbeat begins to explain to you some things, experience some things, and we go to that power of agreement. So when you decide to make up in your mind, in your heart mind, that you're ready to surrender. See, we're not subject to life and death. We're way beyond that. But we've been taught that we're subject to life or death. We've heard this is a life or death situation. We're not subject to that. And when you grasp the power of agreement, then you'll begin to see yourself not subject to the things outside of you. You'll begin to walk in the things that are inside of you. There's no limitation as to what you can do, be, or have. You put the limits on it when you don't agree with the spirit that's in you. Man, this is good in the neighborhood. This is a life-changing way of operating through the rest of your journey. Now, when you do that, you're going to see a tremendous change in how you'll no longer react to situations. You'll respond, because you'll respond with the power, and you know that you can agree with the power that's in you, even if you don't have a prayer partner, even if you don't have a friend, if you don't have a family member, a husband or a wife or a child that will take time to agree with you. You can go within yourself and know that there's a majority that's working on the inside. That's you and the Spirit of God. And the Christ consciousness will bring you to all understanding. It's going to bring you to a place of knowing. It's going to bring you to a place of wisdom. It's going to bring you to that place of power. And once you begin to agree with it, you begin to master and magnify the master in everything that comes within this power of agreement. Well, this, man, I'm telling you, this is good in the neighborhood. I'm so excited about this. I promise you, I have done this power of agreement almost 4 times, and I've been interrupted because I know the power behind the power of agreement. When you get this, I want you to send me an email. And when you master this, you're going to see things happen so quickly, because the power of agreement with God happens out of time. It happens in eternity, and eternity swallows up time. So it's going to happen with a twinkling of an eye. It's going to happen so fast. You're going to see the manifestation just because you agreed with the power. Come on now. Just because you agreed with the power. And as you begin to make this a part of your life, you're going to see things around you change. You're going to see yourself change, first of all. That's the most important part. You're going to see the change within yourself, the things that you used to cry about, the hurts that you used to be upset about, the way that people treated you, how you used to be upset about that. All of that's going to change because you know you got the power. And all you have to do is take it to God. And y'all agree on it, and it happens. It is that abracadabra. Abracadabra is not magic, it's a miracle. It is, as you call it, it becomes. Or as you saw it, it became. What? That's an abracadabra moment. I'm trying to tell you. This is the most, or one of the most greatest tools that God has ever given you. And when you begin to activate, when you begin to submit and subject yourself to this power, you can't help but see change. And I always say, if it wasn't, before God got there, once he arrived, it became. And that's the power that you're operating in. Well, this has been another word download into our spirits. I am so excited that this movement and this Christ consciousness is going to take you to a place that you should have been all the time, but it's going to restore you. It's going to reactivate. It's going to stabilize you. It's going to ground you. It is going to be your level up. And as you move into a different dimension, as you move into a different space, and as you move into a different place, you're going to design and find yourself in the greatest version that God ever created. I'm telling you, you are something powerful. You are a power to be reckoned with. And there is no need for you to reduce yourself to a lower frequency when you're operating and flying at the highest frequency there is. Don't allow people to strip you of your power. And most of all, don't give away your power willingly, because people will try to manipulate you. They see you, they know you, and they'll try to try you. And I keep telling you, trying means you're planning to fail. So when you ground yourself in this power of agreement, you're going to operate in the greatest version of yourself. Well, this is Michelle. I'm your motivator. I'm your spiritual evolutionist. Listen, as long as you go in, you will never be without. Why? Because the power of agreement is working in you. We're not looking outside of ourselves for anything. We are going to the source and the host of the power. Well, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. I don't take it lightly that you have taken this opportunity to share in this word. that has been downloaded in my spirit and hopefully has been downloaded in yours. I am so grateful for you. Thank you, Stay in Love TV and Vanessa Klinger, for this opportunity and this platform to be available. Listen, come join the team. We have plenty of room for you. The information will be located for you to contact her and get your information out, your conscious information. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Remember, you've been created by the Creator to be creative. So start creating your creations with that power of agreement. And you'll never be, once you go in, you'll never be without. This is Michelle. I am signing out for this evening. May the blessings and peace of God be upon you and your life as you go and move into this power of agreement. Namaste. I bow to the divine power, purpose, and presence that is in you. Be blessed.
Stay in Love TV is your production to distribution solution to getting your message seen and heard. Having your own TV show at Stay in Love TV has never been easier than now. Stay in Love TV gives you the power to share your message with the world. Stop watching TV and start being watched on TV. Stay in Love TV offers real-time multicasting, all with one click. This opportunity puts you on the world stage with an audience of over 200 million. In addition to your low monthly subscription fees, you will also receive monthly network coaching and training from the network itself to ensure that before your first show premieres, you are set up for success. We at Stay in Love TV bring over 20 years experience in sales, marketing, advertising, and business development. Stay in Love TV, purposeful entertainment driven by love, empowered with passion, fueled with faith. Go to www.stayinlovetv.com and let's get started.